Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's devotion for October 21st. Today's devotion is titled A Feast of Love. And today's Bible reading is from John chapter 6, verses 47 to 59. I tell you the truth, anyone who believes has eternal life. Yes, I am the bread of life. Your ancestors ate manna in the wilderness, but they all died. Anyone who eats the bread from heaven, however, will never die. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. Anyone who eats this bread will live forever. And this bread, which I will offer so the world may live, is my flesh. Then the people began arguing with each other about what he meant. How can this man give us his flesh to eat? They asked. So Jesus said again, I tell you the truth, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you cannot have eternal life within you. But anyone who eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise that person at the last day. For the flesh is the true food, and my blood is true drink. Anyone who eats my flesh and drinks my blood remains in me, and I in him. I live because of the living Father who sent me. In the same way, anyone who feeds on me will live because of me. I am the true bread that came down from heaven. Anyone who eats this bread will not die, as your ancestors did, even though they ate the manna, but they will live forever. He said these things while he was teaching in the synagogue at Capernaum. In the Danish film Babette's Feast, a French refugee appears in a coastal village. Two elderly sisters, leaders of the community's religious life, take her in, and for 14 years Babette works as their housekeeper. When Babette comes into a large sum of money, she invites the congregation of 12 to join her for an extravagant French meal of caviar, quail, and puff pastry, and more. As they move from one course to the next, the guests relax. Some find forgiveness, some find love rekindled, and some begin recalling miracles they'd witnessed and truths they'd learned in childhood. Remember what we were taught, they say? Little children, love one another. When the meal ends, Babette reveals to the sisters that she spent all she had on the food. She gave everything, including any chance of returning to her old life as an acclaimed chef in Paris, so that her friends, eating, might feel their hearts open. Jesus appeared on earth as a stranger and servant, and he gave everything so that our spiritual hunger might be satisfied. In John's Gospel, he reminds his listeners that when their ancestors wandered hungry in the wilderness, God provided quail and bread. That food satisfied for a time, but Jesus promises that those who accept him as the bread of life will live forever. His sacrifice satisfies our spiritual cravings. How has God satisfied your hunger? What might it look like for you to give sacrificially? Thank you for joining me for today's devotion, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.